name. Hello. My name is Rosa, and I am an activist. Would you guys like to know what I'm an activist for? Yes. Awesome. Well, I'm an activist for a lot of reasons, but I am an activist for positive body language and the Leuko mindset. So what does Leuko mindset mean?
What's that term again?
I am an activist for positive body language and the Leuko mindset.
Leuko.
Leuko is a word in the dictionary, yes.
Well, spell it for us because it's not
Leuko. Leuko. And Leuko is a word in the dictionary. It means the absence of color, colorless, and in some cases clear. So what that means is a clear mindset. When I was in school, as a high school student, as any high school student, as a aspiring procrastinator, I believed that I could do anything. And I wrote a lot of papers on procrastinating. I wrote a lot of papers on drug use. I wrote a lot of papers on just about anything. Activism from the 60s, papers that I just, as far as poetry and stuff like that. And while I was doing my homework one day, preparing for my presentation, I opened up the dictionary, I pointed at a random word, and I found the word Leuko. And Leuko means the absence of color, colorless, and in some cases clear. So basically, I made a point to memorize this word. And to me, what this word meant at the time when I was in high school, I would say that I was like a 16, 17-year-old punk-ass kid. It meant to me to live purely and clearly, to keep my mind clear of all negativity and all negative thoughts, and to have clean and positive understanding of others' body language and body thought processes. So what's next when you think about a clear mindset? So if I'm an activist for Leuko mindset, what's next in understanding and portraying a clear mindset? And that's what I consider body language. And body language, a positive body language to me, portrays non-assumption of thought process. And that means not to assume someone's body, thought process through their body language, but also to understand that you can be perceived through your thought process. So what that really means is, okay, if you want to live Leuko, if you want to live clear-mindedly, then you have no thought process through your body language. And I mean, positive body language is constantly sporadic and open and understanding, and you're powerful, and I completely understand that. But when you put your thought process in your body language, almost everyone notices. And from what I've gathered from my information about, I gathered 6-year-old kids. And that's I looked at a lot of kids, a lot of spectrums, and back home I used to go to different bars. I used to go to every single bar I could think of. I used to be like, oh, positive body language and a clear-mindedness. So what do you think about that? And how old do you think that kids are when they can start to perceive their parents' body language? And through that I understood most people understood that their kids were 4, 5, 6 years old. So I say 6 years old because I give it a broader spectrum. 6-year-old kids can understand that you're thinking through your thought process into your body language. So when you layer your thought process on top of your body language, you are perceived. Granted, non-assumption of thought process is something that I believe in because everybody speaks in slangs and different dialects in their own mind, and everybody has their own variations in which they go through to protect their thought process. Understandable. So, here's my plea. What I want from America as a whole, and what I want to instill in high schools across America, is body language. The highest suicide rate for young adults is between high school and college. And I mean that. I've had a lot of people that I've lost in my life, and in other people's lives, you've lost a lot of people between high school and college. It's the highest suicide rate for young adults. Okay, so when you think about that, you understand that another social, structural concept can be instilled before you get out of high school, before you understand completely what the world is about, before you're thrown to the wolves. You can understand something socially, some social construct of understanding that you can take into college, into your adulthood, and you have body language. You have the understanding of body language, positive body language, and you can understand that you can be perceived through your thought process if you layer it on top of your body language. And that's super important to me. That's the only play that I have here. And in the future, this is a concept that I've been over and over and over and over and over and over and over in my head since I was 25 years old, and I was hello at every bar in Massachusetts, back home. Hello, my name is Evelyn Cassie, I'm 25 years old, and I believe what you think matters, and I believe that your body language and your thought process can be perceived. So if you can catch my name, if you can catch the name Evelyn Cassie, if you can catch the name Evelyn, even anything, if you can catch anything through your thought process, anything through understanding through your body language, and it bothers you, those people that you go to class with, that you go to parties with, and you think those people are socially awkward and not understanding, those people are more intelligent than the people around them. I tell you, 100%. People that have uncomfortable social, awkwardness, every single one of those people are more intelligent. It is a what is it called out? I'm at a loss of words.
Conundrum?
Observable?
No, it's a...
Enigma?
It's a statistic. It's a statistic. It's a statistic. Statistically proven, people who are more awkward, people who are more uncomfortable in social settings are more intelligent. That is a fact. And they're more intelligent because the people around them, their thought processes on top of them. And for me personally, I was accused of stupidity. I was thrown into a crowd of people that was like the underdogs, like the lames, people that were misunderstood and also not as cool, and they throw their thought processes on us and call us stupid, call us all kinds of repulsive names. So what I stand for is positive body language and a Leuko mindset. Leuko is the absence of color, colorless, and in some cases clear meaning. That if I can instill body language in high schools across America, and that's another social construct, lowers suicide rate in young adults. From high school to college, you have a social construct, understanding that there's non-assumption of thought process because everybody speaks in slangs. Everybody speaks in different dialects. Everybody's not thinking all the time, and that's understandable and perceivable. But you also are taught to not assume people's thought process through their body language. If you're taught to not assume people's thought process through your body language, and on top of that, you're also taught that you shouldn't put your thought process in your body language, and you should have open body language, and you should focus on sounds and words and understanding and that good energy in your own speech versus your thought process, then everybody would be more understanding. We are in the age of Aquarius right now. We are going into the Bronze Age. As far as pure consciousness, if you've ever studied pure consciousness, that means our planets are revolving closer to each other, which means we are coming onto a revolutionary age, coming out of the dark age. And in human society, globally, we are more intelligent now. So what that means for me as a person is that as an Aquarian myself, I have to stand up. I have to say, listen, I understand you 100%. Not even in your body language and your thought process. So for our kids, for the next generation, and over the next 10 years, I started at 25, I'm 25 years old, my name is Evelyn Ocasio, I think what you think matters, that's where I started at. I'm 26 years old, right now. My name is Evelyn Ocasio. And I think what you think matters. And I think that body language should be instilled as a course in high schools across America. And over the next, I've spent a year, so 9 years, this will be a thing. I'm writing a book about body language, I'm writing a book about Leuko mindset, I'm writing a book about human evolution, because we get constantly more intelligent. This isn't about disputes between lovers. This isn't about disputes between high school students and all that stuff. This is about human progression and understanding that you can keep that to yourself. And understanding that you are wholesome as a person, you are intelligent, you are an intelligent being, and you are allowed to be your full person. There is no fear here through thought process. Telepathy is a thing. Understanding is a thing. I call it, and I'll say this early, but I call it inner telecommunications. Inner telecommunications is words without words. Body language, spoken. Thought process through your body language is inner telecommunications. And a 6-year-old child can understand it from my studies. So what I will say is that that's where we'll start. And by the time the 9 years is over, we will have high schools. At least, the middle schools is where I'm going. Yes, thank you. Yes.
Woohoo!